Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Cloud and Data with Kaushik. So today our agenda is that we're going to learn that very important library in that Python that is called Pandas. So I hope I am audible to all of you, right? So just going to start this Python, this Pandas library in that Python. How we can create the data frame with the help of Pandas, all kind of things that we are going to explore over here. So I hope you all have that Jupyter notebook in your site. So if you not have the Jupyter notebook, so please just install the Jupyter notebook. That link I will add in the description box. This video I already created how to configure all the things. Apart from that, I can show you that if you install, just write Jupyter notebook. So you can just go and Jupyter notebook and just click this icon. Okay, Jupyter notebook Anaconda 3. And once you have clicked that icon, so you get probably this kind of screen. You can see my Jupyter notebook is running in the localhost 8888. Okay, so you can open this notebook. Okay, I hope you can if you are doing along with me, so you can do you have this setup, right? So first we have to just rename that notebook, that is Pandas. I can do. So what is the agenda? What I am going to discuss? So I'm just write Pandas, and one first point, that is Pandas data frame. Second thing that we are basically going to cover, that Pandas series, and third, that Pandas basic operation, Pandas basic operations, and just change code to markdown, and then you have this idea, right? Okay, so first I'm starting and how we can add in the session that we are going to learn. Okay, so before uh, going to learn any framework, any library, first we should know that official documentation, right? So you just go and open the Google and you can write pandas. Okay, and you probably get this link. You can see Pandas Python data analysis library. So this is the official documentation link. So everybody should follow that. So before going to start the Pandas, so it's better that we can explore the official library. So this is the first, you just write Pandas in that search box and you can probably get this link. Okay, so just click on that and you probably get this website. Okay, so this is the official website of the Pandas, and each and every documentation that has been given, and like you just go in the documentation section and you can see the first thing, that the definition that is given. Pandas is an open source library, BSD license, so providing high performance, easy to use data structures and data analysis tools for the Python. So somebody if asks what is Pandas, so it's just kind of a data structure which will basically help you some kind of data analytics, and that is super amazing. We have to learn these things. There are many things we have to explore over there. So you can just, Pandas is an open source. Everybody in the data science industry, they are using Pandas. Without Pandas, you cannot create your data frame. You any operations, it's not possible to run without the Pandas. Okay. So just give you an example. Just I have that Excel, right? You can see this is my Excel, right? And I have some data like I just writing ID in the Excel sheet. Just I'm writing three important features that I'm going to write. Features are, you can just write ID, name, and age. Okay. This just as an example, you assume this is the kind of data, right? And this data you can get from Excel sheet. This data you can get from the databases. Okay. So you can explore these things. Okay. So just write one name. My name is given. So age, anything yes, I can add that 25. And second data that I'm going to add, Ankit, any name you can put, okay? So that is 21. Third, you can write Rahul, any name you can, just understanding purpose, I'm going to create this data, okay? So you can see this is my data. And one thing you will probably see, there are three columns, right? ID, name, and age. Okay. These are my columns name. Always understand. Okay. This is my column index. Okay. This is my column index. Why I'm saying the column index? And this is a super important that we are dealing with the pandas. The entire data also be converted into data structure, and which will be called as the data frame. Anything that I'm going to discuss, this data I'm using that indicates each and every data column, okay? And in the real world scenario, you have different data sets you have to deal with. Just as per understanding purpose, I'm just writing. So this is a column and this is the column index. I can say with that help of we can create the data frame, the data. Okay. So we just go and return back to my Jupyter notebook. So first you have to know how you have to install Pandas. If you not add the Pandas library, you have to install, just write pip and you can write install Pandas, and probably you can see the this marks, that busy marks is coming, that loader is coming. Okay. So that means that Pandas is going to be installed over here. So it takes some time, and you also see some star marks. So it's busy. So we have to wait 2 or 3 minutes, and between that we have done. You can see already created. So requirement already satisfied, and the package Python and requirement already done. We have already successfully added the pandas this live. Next, you have to import, and you can see we have to import pandas as PD and import numpy as NP. So what is PD and NP? Just tell me what is PD. So this is alias. Alias. Okay, this is also alias. So I have one questions. I have the entire data. Can we create a data in the pandas instead of importing the data, and we also create manually the specific data? Okay. No, and all the time no need to that I'm going to I just go and import the CSV file. I just go and import that other HTML file or text file and then import and that data, right? So instead of that we can also create that data in our site. Okay, so you can see this is the data, and ID, name, age, these three columns name are there. Can we create this in with the help of pandas in our in this notebook without importing that. I just going to add an CSV file, then we are going to import the CSV file. So instead that import the CSV file, can we create that this this data? So let's see how we can create that. But just we have to mention one thing, that is the markdown cell. I'm just write what is pandas. So just write pandas is an open source library. Okay. For what purpose is it used? Can anybody tell? Just so you can say pandas is an open source library and which provides, or you can say library providing. So just remember this definition, and you also understand the concept of pandas. So that is the reason I just add this thing. So pandas is an open source library providing high performance, easy to use, easy to use uh, data structures, data data structures and data analysis tools. Okay, data analysis tool, and it is super important uh, and in data science world, everybody everybody use that pandas. Okay, so it's a library. So just one definition I'm just going to add, so it can be familiar with you, and you also explore that uh, details if you want to explore in that website. So you can also go and check all the details, the documentation part, the official documentation part that we are going to add. Let's go. The next what we are going to do, I just create that data, okay, over there, and see how we can do that. Okay, just write np dot arrange. So earlier in the previous session, I already show the your NumPy libraries, and you can familiar with the arrange method. So I just write np.arrange 20 and dot reshape. You can add 5, 4. Okay. So you can see this is the data, right? Okay, I just not going to explore because I have to import that and then it will be working. Just a second. It's my fault that I'm not going to execute the cell. And sorry for that. I'm just, it takes some time. And now you are just going to add. Spelling mistake, I think. Okay, so you can see there are five rows and we are getting the 5 indexes, right? But the next thing that I can give my column. Okay. And And now we can see how we can create the data frame, custom data frame. Okay, just write here, create a data frame, create a data frame. Okay, now how we can create the data frame with the help of Pandas? Just write pd dot data frame. pd dot data frame, and here you have to supply the data. What is your data? That is your np dot arrange, and here same thing, just I'm going to write, just follow 20 and dot reshape. You can add 5 comma 4. Okay, and here you have to specify the column name, column. Okay, what is the column name that you can add? How many columns I have? So that is my column 1, like column column 1. Just manually I'm going to create instead of importing. Okay, first we have to understand this concept. So column 2, and next here you can write 3 and just execute this thing. So column 4. Okay, and let's try to execute this cell. And I hope receive column name that okay, that should be column, right? So now trying to execute. Yes, we can see we have that numeric data, right? So earlier cell I have created this data 0, 1, 2, 3, and these 5 indexes, that 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 rows. Okay, so you can see we have created the data frame. How you can create our custom data frame? Just you just write pd dot data frame, and here you have to supply your data. Your data is, this is your data, right? np dot arrange 0, 20 dot reshape, and you have to supply the column name. So there are 4 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 columns, and you can probably see your one data frame is created, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is my row indexes, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is my row index. This is the row index. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the same data, right? And we can also convert the data in the Excel sheet also, and we can also convert the data into the Excel sheet or CSV file. From this data we can also convert. Your entire data actually looks like this. If you import that thing, you can create these things. And just I have used my NumPy array and also the columns. Okay, I hope you can understand. So how we can create that normal simple data frame. So this is a numerical value. If you want to give any custom row index, so you have to write that index is equal to, you have total 5 rows, right? And now I have to use that indexing as a rows. You can see, and I have used index. So I just do one thing. I just copy this line and create in a new cell. And here you can execute. And now I just write index. That is your, you can see row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and probably at, this is the row 5. Okay, now we have to see that now tell me what will happen if I will execute the cell. So instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see the row name will come. Now I'm going to execute. And I hope I have mistaken some in columns. Okay, and you have to just add the columns. Yeah, now execute. Now, so separately you have to do. If I break these lines, okay, so it can be readable and you can also understand. So this is the data frame. I just break it down. Now you can understand this coding. Just column, and this is the data frame. So first you have to supply your data. First you have to supply your data. Second, you have to supply the index name, supply custom index name, and probably you have to supply the column name. You have to supply custom column. Okay. And you can see instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, na, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I got row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, 5. Okay. So you can always replace these things. Yes, you can do if you have the dictionary, you can also convert it data frame. You have the list, you can also convert it data frame. You have CSV file, you can also convert it data frame. So understand that at the end of the day, we require this data. We have to fit as a data frame. Okay. Once you fit your data in the data frame, the rest of the thing is as usual. You have to create that data ingestion, you have to create that machine learning algorithm. But in the pandas, we have to see how we have to create the data frame. Not only that, we have just go and import the CSV file. Not only this process, okay? So we can create our custom data. We can create our custom column names, row, all the things, okay? I hope you can understand up to this. So if you have this particular information, data index columns, you can create the data frame. So now I want to see this type. So you can assign the TF is equal to this value. You can execute and you can first print your TF. Okay. And next I can see type of the TF. What is the type of the data? What is the type of this TF? Not data frame. So it will return the data frame. So you can write type. Inside the type, you just write TF. Once you write TF inside the type, you can get this clearly written pandas.core.frame.data frame. Okay. You can see clearly it is written. It is the data frame object that you have to get. If you write type and inside the type you can just add df, so it will return pandas.core.frame.data. So I hope you can understand this. So there are some inbuilt function that we are going to discuss step by step. Now you can see the type of df. So you can get the pandas.code.frame.data frame. So return type is data frame. Okay, that basically means whatever I created that pd.data frame, and that is created that entire data frame. I hope you can understand, right? So we just write pd.data frame, and inside the data frame we have supplied data index columns. There's very simple things. Okay, and you can create the data frame, and it will return the pandas.code.frame.data frame, and you can get the time. And you see, this is my DF, right? And there are some inbuilt function. If I want to really get, the top 5 records, okay? Yes, so pandas is a class, data frame is one of the function over there. Now everybody focus. If I want to get the top 5 records of the data, so for that we can write it, and it will give default 5 records, top 5 records, okay? So I just write head method returns by default top 5 records from your data frame. From your data frame, okay? Same thing if I want to get the last 5 records, so you can write df.tail. Okay, by default, so I also write, so you can also understand tail method returns by default bottom or last, okay, bottom or last 5 records from the data frame. Okay, so in that case, our data is totally 5, so we can head and tail. Now, if I want to get the top 2 records, now df dot head and just write 2. And if you see, so if you press that shift and tab, so you can get the signature of the data. So return the first n rows. So if you want to get the top 2 records of the data frame, just write df dot head, and inside that brackets you have to return the first n row. So 2, you just mention 2, and if I will execute, so you can see only top 2 records is showing. So you have to mention the number. Same thing if I want to get the last 2 records, for df.tail, and you just probably add 2 over here, and you can get last 2 records, okay? And you can see row indexing here, row 4 and row 5, 12 and 16. And here we are getting the row 1 and row 2. So this is the inbuilt function of data frame. So head and tail is very useful. Every time you can use that. So if I add that, if you press shift tab on the tail, you can see press shift tab. I also add this line. So in notebook, you just press shift plus tab to get that enter information of the data frame. Same thing, shift tab. So here also I just write shift tab, and that just place your cursor in the tail. Your cursor is blinking, and just press shift tab. You can see signature df.tail int 5 frame of series, and doc string return the last n rows. Okay, so you can probably get this value. So if you see that 3, we can also get last 3 records, row 3, row 4, and row 5. Now let's see one inbuilt function that is specifically use that this that specifically the specific use case that we want to see. We'll just take more cells so it can be helpful. Just step by step we're learning. So if you have any doubts, so please let me know. I have to wait some time, then we can go the next step. So up to now, I hope you don't have any problem. And if you have any doubts, so please let me know in the comment section. So I can probably answer. So I hope you can understand up to that. That is very easy thing. There is no issue. So no, don't worry about that notebook. I will probably add in the description box. That's not an issue. Okay. So next, describe method. Okay. Describe. So it returns what? 5-point summary. 5-point summary. So it will, you can see, it will calculate your count, it will calculate your mean column wise, your standard deviation, mean, 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile, max. Okay. Everything is about statistics. Okay. So this stats record, that is also called 5-point summary. If you are described na, and press shift tab, so you can see percentile. You can also explore. Just scroll down, so you can see df.describe percentile, include, exclude, date time is numeric. Also, you can see the doc string generate descriptive statistics. So just write one line of code, you can entirely understand the statistical records, right? What the mean of this column, what the standard deviation. So in the doc string also mentioned, it will generate the descriptive statistics. So descriptive statistics include those that summarize at the central tendency, dispersion, shape, each and every details you can get. So just explore with the C+ tab and you can get the details, okay? So this is also very important and useful methods that I can say, and you can get the result. And it usually happened only on the numerical data. If you have the string value and that time it not able to getting the data, it only work inside that numerical data. Only you have the numerical data, then it statistical summary you can get. And now let's go and tell you some other functionalities. If I want to just take 3 columns, okay. So how we can do that? So I just want to read the 3 columns, column 1, column 2, and column 3. Okay. So we can write df, and here I keep my column name. We can write column 1, column 2. Very useful and very easy to learn. Column 2, and here you can write column 3. Whenever need to retrieve the data from the data set, so you can use that. So you can, if you want to get the data of that particular column, so 2 ways you can do that. Either you can retrieve the data like column names, and also you can retrieve the data the row wise. Okay, so you can say it's a subset you can create. There are multiple columns, but I am interested to see only two columns instead of column three. I interested to see only two columns, right? So you can subset it. So you can see, so DF column 1 and column 2. Just wait. Each and everything I will just show you. No issue. Just step by step I'm going to learn. Okay. So I just want to see the column 1 and column 2. These two records I'm going to see. So first bracket that you guys going to see DF and use the two brackets, right? So in the first bracket there is the data frame, and second bracket, and the second bracket that you have to mention your column name. Okay, what columns we are going to see. Now we can explore. Okay, so that is column 1. Actually, the same name you have to add, like column 2, and now let's go. So now one more thing that I'm going to tell, that column name, exactly that name you have to add. Okay, otherwise earlier I have used only column 1 and column 2 and it's showing error. So whatever the name is there, same name you have to add. And now earlier you can see the data. Actually, there is 4 columns in the data set, right? And only 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 columns, and this is the rows. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns are there, and this is the rows are there. And now I want to get only 2 columns, column 1 and column 2. Only 2 columns data you can get. Retrieve, okay? Now tell me what is the type of this value? If I want to see only one data like DF and column 1, just take this thing and copy this one, and only can see the column 1. So in respect the column 1, the rows you are getting, right? Only one column is showing, but all the rows are also getting only one column. Earlier we are getting 2 columns, and here we are getting only 1 column, and rows you are getting, right? And now you can observe, if I want to write the type of this column, what it will return. So just do one thing, just copy DF column 1, and you can just write type over here. Inside the type, you can just write at this one. So type of this particular value also be data frame. Type of this particular value also the data frame. Why? Because the frame, because there one column and rows are there. 5 rows are there. Creating a data frame need column and rows, right? So only one column, that is also written that data frame object. This is the type pandas.code.frame.data frame. Now, if I'm going to write this link, so column 1. let's try to observe and try to understand these things. Okay, column 1. So this is your column 1. Okay, and what is this? You can tell me. So column 1, you can get, you cannot get in the column name, right? What is the difference? What is the difference between this code and this code? Only one braces and two braces. And I'm getting the value only row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 5, row 4 and row 5. Okay? Column name is not there. Yes, understood? If I know go and the type of these particular things, what should be the type? Let's try to type. And now you can see it's a series. So what is the series? And you can understood. You understood? If I probably check its type, there is no two braces, right? It is, I'm not mentioned these braces and these braces. Okay? And you also get the data, but here you can not getting the columns. And you can check only these things. There is two difference. This is the data frame and this is your series. Okay? So So tell me, what is the difference between series and what is the difference between data frame? So here you can see one scenario I am getting series and one scenario I am getting the data frame. Okay. Then tell me what is that. Just think and just I'm wait 1 or 2 minutes so you can probably get the answer, or you can always think and write your answer in the comment section. What is that the difference between the series and data frame? I will also write, and probably difference between data frame and data series. Okay. What is the difference? Here I'm getting two braces, right? Two braces here I'm getting, and here I'm getting only one braces. What is the difference? That is my question. So this is a series, right? You can see what exactly the series. What is the difference between series and data frame? If I take only these values, one column values in the row index, column name also, only one. Okay. On if only the data on the row indexes, and this is the series. Okay, this is the series. This is the series. This is, and if I combine the multiple series, more than one series, then it will become a data frame. This is a series, this is the series, and this is the series. And if you combine all the series, then it will create a data frame. Only one data set, this is the series. And if you have combined these multiple series, then it will become a data frame. Series, one column. If you combine two series, then it will become a data frame, not series. Only one column, you can see it's series. But you have multiple series, you will combine, connect it together, then it will be data frame. Okay? I hope you can understood. I hope you can, I can understand I hope you can understand this concept, and this is very pretty clear, and you have to understood this concept to work in the data science projects. only one series, right? Column one and multiple series, if you will add, then it is data frame. Repeatedly, I told these things. So please remember this concept, the difference between series and data frame. Okay, so I hope you can understand this concept. Now, I just go to write. Now, let me go one step ahead. And how I getting the data in respect to row index? How I just write how we can get the data in respect to row index. How can we do that? How we can get the data in respect to row index? Not column, row index. I am getting the data row index, row wise. I want to get interested to get row first and the third row. How we can get? How can we retrieve it with the hello index? Now I can see how we can log. So you can write log, location parameter. So first we discuss about the location. Whenever write the location, you can actually your row index name here. Which are row I want for row 1 and row 3 that I want. Okay. So row 1 and comma array, this is a list, right? So you can add multiple things. If anywhere you can see this sign, this array or the list, that means you can add multiple things, multiple elements inside that. Okay. So row 1 and I just get the row 3. Then you can see row 1 and row 3. Okay. Now execute. And you can see row 1 and row 3 and the column name is 4, but here I get the data on the row 1 and row 3. Earlier, the scenario was column wise, I just retrieve the data. Here, row wise, I'm going to retrieve the data. And also, just tell me what should be the type here. So type, you can also check, that is also be the data type, because more than one series. If you only deal only one series, just check df.log and just try to understand the data, the type. So you can probably get, this is the pandas.code.frame data frame. This is the data frame. And now I just want to explore one more thing, that is row 1. So this is your only one row respect to column. So what should be the type? Tell me what should be the type. It is data frame or data series. So this is data frame, because here your column and row is there. It can be one row, no issues. It can be one row, but your row is there and column is there, right? So it will becoming a data frame, and here there is no column. You can see only rows are there, and only it is data D type and name also showing. So this is becoming a data series, and here I retrieve the row wise data. Here my only one row is there, and this is 4 columns are 4 and row is 1. So it will be, it also, if it's only one row, but it's a data frame, not the data series. Please remember this concept. Okay, so row wise we can execute the data, we can explore the data, and also column wise we can create and execute the data. That is very much pretty simple, these things. I hope you can understand. Now I am able to get row 1 and row 3. Row 1 and row 3 wise. Now we can show you one more way. If I have very huge data set, by default, like row 1, row 2, row 3, row 5, and back end we also the some index number. Row 2 is 1, row 3 is 2 index number, row 4 is 3 index number, row 5 is 4 index number. That is also possible. how we can do that. So let's see how we can do that. So we can also df dot df. You have variable. Df is variable. Any name. You can also write my name, Kaushik. You can also write your name. This is the variable df. And you, whenever you want to retrieve the records, ilog. Okay. Ilog means index location. Ilog is your index location. Index location. ILOC is your index location. So suppose your row number is row 1. This is the name, okay? But index starting from 0. So I start from the 0, that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the row 5, but indexing is starting from the 0. So back we can also set your index. So this is the ILOC function, okay? So index location. ILOC is your index location. Please remember. So inside my ilog, I can do, I want to get these 3 records, only these 3 records, these 3 records. Okay. So row wise data, 1 minute. These 3 records I want to see. How I want to do that? These 3 records, these 3 rows, only these 3 rows. Okay. How we can set the data? So 0, 4, and I all the records. Colon means all the records. So here you can see is your all is your all the records. Okay. So here I can use ilog, and here 0 to 4 rows, and this is your all records. Colon means, okay. Now so I just write 0 colon 3. If I want to first 3 records, so 3 records and all the columns. We just understood these 3 records 0 to 3, and columns is your column. That means all the columns. This is your row. Okay, so syntax is a row. Just I'm right. df dot log, and that is your row, and that is your column. So probably I want all the column. That is the reason I just use this syntax colon and 0 to 3, row 1, row 2, and row 3. And you can get these records, okay? Row 1, row 2, and row 3, but with all the columns. If I want to see first 2 columns, so just do one thing, first 2 record 0, 2, and now you can see the data on the 2 columns. So you can understood why slicing is important, why iloc is important. So everything is combined here, right? So column, that means all the columns name, and here only 2 columns name I want to show, and all the 3 records. Just suppose you can get 3 rows and 2 columns, okay? And probably if you have this thing, right, 0 and 2, what is your answer? You can see 5 rows. That means all. So in the row wise side, in the row side I have used this syntax colon. That means all. And column side I just mentioned 0 colon 2, so 2 columns. Okay. So probably you can get the data. So you can experiment all the things at your end also. So I hope you can understand slicing. I hope you can understand that ilog all the things. I also show these things in the NumPy, so you can understood. So it's your df.ilog and you can get the data. Okay. What is the row index? By default, that row index. First three records, and I want these two columns. Okay. You have df. Okay. So this is the column 2, row 3, row 3. This I want to get. Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Forget the column 4. Only column 1, column 2, column 3, row 1, row 2, row 3, and column 1, column 2, and column 3. I want the first three records, and I want first two columns. These two columns, and first these two columns. You understood the problem statement, right? What I'm going to add? Two columns. So I just do df.ilog. I log first three records. 0, 3. Three records, first three records. So index will start from 0. So I'm also write index here. Your index is starting from 0. Okay. So it will start from 0 and 0:3 and two columns. I want column 1 and column 2, and column index also start from 0. You can also write 0, 0, 2, 1, 0, and 2. Okay. 0 and 1 and 0, 1, 2. Okay. You can write this thing. Okay. 0, 3, row 1, row 2, and row 3, and column 1 and column 2. These two values you are getting, right? Column 1 and column 2. Here your index is starting from 0. 0:3, 0:2. So you can get this data. df.ilog and you can get this data. Understood? I hope you can understood this thing. If you have any problems, so please let me know. And this is the way we can done this. Okay. Next problem statement that I want to show. Next task is that read 9, 10, 13, 14. 9, 10, 13, 14. How we can get this data? 9, 10, 13, 14. Okay, how we can get this data? And guys, try to retrieve 9, 10, 13, 14. 9, 10, and 13, 14. How we can retrieve? Just I'm wait 1 minute and I just wait for your answer. So try at your end, pause the video, try at your end, and then see that how we can do that. These records 9, 10, 13, 14. These things only 9, 10, 13, 14. I am repeating this sentence, right? How we can get this? How can we do that? Here dot ilog 9, 10, 13, 14. Let's see which rows and which columns. 2, 0, 1, 2. Okay, 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. So 9 is 2, right? 0, 1, 2. So that should be your 2. And 2 colon 4. And here 1 colon 3. Just second, I just write 1 colon 3. And we can see 9, 10, 13, 14. So this is your row. Okay. So you can see row 0, 1, 2. And 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 9 and 10 is your column's name. So 1 and 3. You can retrieve this data. df.ilog 2 colon 4 and 1 colon 3. And you can get row 3, column 2 and column 3. And you can get 9, 10 and 13, 14 this data. I hope you can understand. And this is also the data frame, right? Can I convert data frame into array? How can we do that? Data frame, convert the data frame into array. So convert this data frame into arrays. How? Okay. So you can convert your data frame into array. Here you can convert your data frame into array with the help of dot values. Okay, that is very simple. Now it's becoming array. I convert my data frame into the array. You can also convert your array to data frame, no issues. We can also do these things. Clear this concept? I hope you can understand this concept. So whenever you row index and column index, you just ilog. And whenever you require that row index wise, that is log. And whenever you require, so I also write this note. Whenever we require data frame, we require to retrieve data from row and column wise. Then we can use df.ilog. Okay, this is the first one scenario. Sorry, and again, whenever we require to retrieve the data only for row wise, then we can use what dot log, not ilog, dot log, right? You can see ilog, your row and column would be involved. But if you see only the log, okay, only row wise, you can retrieve the data, then only log. And third, you can write whenever we require to retrieve the data only for column wise, we can use this double curly brackets. Okay, df and this double curly brackets, only column wise, right? Here we can see only column wise whenever we retrieve the data, only column. Here row is not prioritized. Only column wise we are retrieve the data for column wise. So here we can get the data with the help of df this value. So these 3 points we have to remember. So that is the different scenarios that we have to add. Okay. Next, we can see what more thing that we are going to discuss. I hope you can understand up to that. If you don't have any problem, I repeatedly told that please let me know in the comment box so I can discuss. So clear, I hope. And so shall I move ahead the next concept? Now, tell me what is this np dot nan. So nan basically means null value, right? Nan basically means null value. Okay. So whenever we have null values, and whenever we have that nan value in our data frame, and null values, there is no data, so it is showing the nan. Okay. In my data set, I have the empty value. So this way, if I have this data, right, 4, I had 4, and this way. This is one scenario of NAN. There is no data, right? The ID, I have the data 4. In the age, I have the data 23. But in the name section, this element is empty. Okay. This value is data frame reads the data set. This will be considered as NAN. So whenever data frame reads the data set, and this time it will be treated as a NAN value. Clear? I hope you can understand what is not a number. NAN, not a number. It's a empty value, empty cell. Okay, you can see this is the empty cell. How do we define this? With the help of arrays. Let's see. So like I also write on data frame. Just tell me what I'm going to add this thing. So just write dd dot data frame. Okay, and you have to pass your data equal to your this value 1 comma np dot nan comma 2, okay, comma. I just create these things and try to understand this concept. 1 comma 3 comma 4, okay, and you have this index is equal to row index, that is your row 1 and your row 2, and that is your column in columns, that is your column column 1, and that is your column 2, comma, that is your A. Okay, and try to execute this data frame. Okay, and now let's see. Let's display my data frame over here. So it will return me the NaN value, right? So you can see I have created that custom data frame over here. Making this is the data frame, column was This is the nan value, right? np dot nan. Here nan value is there, and 2 and 1, 3, 4. So I'm getting a nan value over here, right? This is the empty value, that is basically a nan, right? Okay, so PD dot data frame is simple. Just break down it data, and in the data we have this index and column. Just break down, then you can understood. So you have this data set, right? np dot nan. So 2. So remember one thing. So here we have supplied 3 and it will swing 3.0. Why? So remember, whenever we supply the nan value, this column, right? It will treat it the next column as a float. Okay. So nan, let's see if I instead of nan, if I write 5 or 4, 5, okay, and execute and just execute df. So I have proved, right? 3. Here I'm adding only numeric number 5. And next column, it will treat it normal numeric. There is no addition of float. But here, if I will write in p dot net and I execute that, okay, and I will execute that, that time it is showing nan 3.0. That means in my column, the value is empty, first value, right? Next value, it will be treating and expecting that is a float number. So that is also we have to remember. So that is the reason 3.0 is coming. Okay. I hope you can, it's a clear, we can go the next concept. So please remember all the concept in the data frame. And the next thing, very important, the EDA and feature engineering. And feature engineering is a very one of the important concept. Why it is very important, feature engineering? Feature engineering, okay. Just copy this thing. So I just add row 1, row 2, and row 3. Just a second. Your data row 3. Okay. And column wise, if I can execute this one, yes, supply, I got the error. In the index row 1, row 2, row 3, and columns name. You can also add okay, so you have to add the supply the data 5, 4, 3. So one row actually I'm just going to add. Okay, now let's follow this things. We just add one more row 5, 4.0, and 3. Okay, there are data may not be clean, the nan values, the floatings. So EDA and feature engineering specifically use pandas and numpy, matplotlib, seaborn, the statistical concept we are going to use over here. Okay, this is one example. And here we are able to find out the missing values. How? I hope this concept is clear to all of you. How if we have one row, I want to add one row, one index, one row, right? These values you can insert over here 5, 4, 3 and a row. How do I check the missing values? Writing the code. You can write df dot is null is the function, right? Shift tab, so it detects missing value inside the data frame. What I'm getting over here? False means 0, no missing value. False, no missing value. Column 1, column 2, column 3. Only one place is true, right? Only one place is true. And remaining all the places it is false. Why? Because there is a missing value over here. This is a nan value over here, okay? That is the reason we are getting true. Nan is there, so that is true. And all of the things we are getting the false, right? So step by step, just take your patience. Na? We are just listening. We have to understand this concept. If you want to learn all the things step by step, okay? Take your patience. Take your patience, okay? So you can learn. So you can see that true. True is why? Because nan, that means it's coming true, right? There is no value. But false, 0. False means 0, true means 1. So here we are getting the true. That means only one place our missing value is present. So is null, if you see that shift plus tab, detect missing value. So here you can write detects missing values. Okay. I'm not. So each and everything I'm just going to cover in respect of pandas. Okay. So you can just explore all the things at your end. So you can also learn. Okay. So df dot is null. It detects the missing values and you can get it. Okay. I hope you can understand up to this point. Df dot is null. So you can get this value. Only one place. So null value is trivially present. So in either you can get false or true. Wherever is the nan value, please remember, wherever is the nan value, that basically becomes a true. And wherever there is no nan value, so it becomes a false. So in another row, I have these things, okay? And also you can see df dot is null dot sum. And what it will return? Column 1, there is no null values. Column 3, 0, column 2, 1 null values. So how many null values? 1. Column wise, you can see column 1, column 2, column 3. And sum, it will make the summation and retrieve this data, right? Column 2, only 1 null values. Here, you can clearly see only 1, right? So the dot sum. So shift tab, you can see. So it will return some numeric concept, right? Is null, only retrieve your false, true. But when you add sum method, na, so it will summation all the records, and you can clearly you can see only one value is null. In this column 2, only one null value. So you can write the sum. Sum method returns the summation of null values. df dot is na, and you can see that is also alternative of is null. So here is NA also an alternative of is null. Is null. So you can also check. Just place your cursor and press Shift tab. Detect missing values. Okay. Is NA. And same thing, the summation, if I want to get df dot is in it and dot sum. Okay. And you can get this data. Column 1, there is no null values. Column 2, only one null values, and column 3, there is no null values. Just probably get this data. Okay. I hope you can understood. Data type, the name, np.name. It's the type is float. It's the type showing the type of np.nan is. Yeah. I hope you can understood up to that. Let's say this is my df. These are column, right? Column 2 and column 3. These are features, right? Column 1 is feature, column 2 is one feature, column 3 is feature. So I want to get all the information of that column. So it's on this column, these features, right? So you have another important concept, that is info, tf.info. Okay, and you just press Ctrl Enter or execute the cell. So here you can see this is a class pandas.code.frame, data frame, all the information, index 3 entries, row 1 to row 3, data column, total 3 column, column 2, not null, data type, memory use 96.0 bytes. So each and every information of the data frame you can collect. So every information of the data frame you can get via ef.info. Okay, so each and every column information you can get in the data frame, class, indexing, or the data type, or the memory uses, the each and everything you can get it. It's very useful. So just press tab and you can get the information, right? Docstring, please always go to the docstring. So print a concise summary of a data frame. This method prints information about a data frame, including the index data type and columns, non-null values, and memory uses. Okay. So this provides the concise summary of data frame. I hope we can understand. And next, I just stop the session here. In the next session, I continue this session with the you can understood. So two videos I will create for the data frame, and so you can learn in effective way. Your video length should not be very big. And if you have any problem, any suggestions, so please let me know in the comment section. So I can definitely address your concern. And I hope you can understand. So please watch the next video also. So entire data frame will be in the two videos we have created. Okay. So here I just close this session. So please let me know your thought process. And please that my request, subscribe my channel. You can like, share and subscribe my channel. And in this way, we can learn and grow together. And if you have any problem, please add in the comment box. And thank you for attending the session. So we are just coming with the next session, the same topic, but I just make it short so we can understand. We can let's learn all the things with the two videos. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining this session. Thanks. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Don't forget to share and like. Thank you, and thank you. So please subscribe my channel. Thank you everyone for joining it.